Hi guys, I want to make this video for those of you who are traveling to Korea soon or thinking of traveling to Korea, or those of you I guess just are interested in what it's like to travel to Korea and how Korea has been able to keep the cases very low since the beginning of the pandemic. So I guess the first thing is you can't check in online. The reason for that was so that it's COVID safe. So I thought, oh, interesting. You know, you would assume checking online is safer than, you know, checking in person. I don't know about any other airlines, but the Asiana airline kiosk or the queue had someone at the entrance taking your temperature. You obviously, you know, wouldn't be able to allow to fly if your temperature was above a certain amount. So I passed through that. When I checked in, they would give you form to sign, I guess, to say that you agree with the quarantine and that you understand the implications of travelling. And I guess the third thing is you board the plane. Everyone, the stewards, stewardesses, they were all wearing PPE and they were wearing glasses, like you know those scientific goggles that you wear, glasses that you wear, but obviously not that big. But yeah, they were all wearing glasses, masks and PPE just to protect themselves and everyone on the plane. So then I land to the airport, and when you get there, there were series of security checks. So you get there, even before you get to the passport control, I had to go through 3 different checks. During the flight, they give you a lot of forms to fill out, your information, the address that you're going to be quarantining, and your regular forms that you fill out when you fly. Well, finally, we get to this, because I have a British passport, I go through the foreign passport area, thinking finally I can go. But when you get there, you have people sitting at their desks with obviously COVID safe materials. With the information that you've given on the forms, you must provide a number. They call the number and to ask whether what you have written is correct. They don't tell you what you've written to the person that they've called, so they kind of double check with that. And since my mom lives in Korea, I was able to quarantine in my house. Normally, if you don't have family or relatives, you can't. You have to go straight to the facility that they offer. They asked my mom if, she was my mom and she knew she was expecting me. And so I had to print out this, I don't know what you call it, I guess a family certificate to prove that you're a family. I don't have a Korean passport. They don't really technically see me as a Korean national. So they just have to make sure that it's all true. So then that took a while. They called, and that is when, before the passport control, is when they ask you to download this app. And this app basically what it does is they track your location, obviously, which is important because they need to check that you haven't left your quarantine facility, that you haven't left the room that you said you were going to be. So yeah, you download this app, you add your information, they check it over, and then you go to another place and they do more checks. So I then, I think I got an extra check, because I was a British citizen with family in Korea. And so they did an extra check. They obviously do your fingerprints and they check the family certificate, all that stuff. And everything was fine. And and they check your passport. And then finally I was let out at the passport control, finally. So yeah, and I thought that was it, but no, it's not. As soon as you open the doors open and you can leave, they have more people waiting for you, sitting on the desk with obviously the COVID security and everything, and they basically double check everything. So I did forget to mention that they take your temperature and everything once you land, and they give you a small paper certificate to say that you've passed, that you don't have a fever. Let me get it for you. Okay, has a screening certificate to say, you've been checked. and you get this form. This form is basically to tell the government that you understand the quarantine rules, that you will quarantine, you will not leave, basically. And it's got all these information. So yeah, Ministry of Justice, you see that? You get that. This is the family certificate that I had to print out to prove that my mom lives in Korea and she exists. And this is the QR code that you scan for the app. So they double check and everything, and so now back to the doors opening. You think you're finally done? No, they check everything once more, and then they it's a one-way system there, so you had to really walk all the way kind of down to the airport. It's a big airport as well. You have to walk all the way down. Everyone who has arrived in Korea has to go the same way. So after that, you go straight to the, I guess, the transport of how you're going to get to your quarantine. So they give you an option. Either you take a COVID-safe bus coach from the airport to wherever you live, or taxi, obviously also COVID-safe taxi. But in this instance, they said the wait for the bus was 3 hours. So obviously they don't take as much people on the bus, understandably. So I thought, well, 3 hours is a bit long, isn't it? So we took I traveled with my brother, so we took the taxi all the way home. So the next day they called us to arrange for us to get tested, because I arrived on Sunday. You get the most accurate results when you test a few days later, once you've travelled. Yesterday they gave us a call. Our appointment, my appointment was 10 o'clock. So they send you a taxi, COVID-safe taxi. Literally, when we got in, the front of it was blocked with wood. And obviously there's a little window covered in plastic to see the person. We get to the closest test center. As soon as you arrive, you have this tent, you have this heater so that you can wait without being cold, and everyone is wearing PPE. It's so organized. They have where is this bag? Oh, here. They had this ready for me at the center, and as soon as you get there, they check your temperature. They log it in, then you go to the next kiosk where it's literally glass panel with a little hole where you can put they put the gloves through. It's literally like being in a science lab where you have to put your hands through the gloves and then to test. So they've got this little testing tube there. For me, they make you obviously open everything, and they had this liquid, like a pinkish liquid in there already. They ask you to check whether the information is correct, what they've written in. And there's another little plastic thing where there's two long cotton, well, not cotton actually, two, what do you call it? Those sticks that you test, yourself on. I say it's not cotton, but it really hurt. So yeah, you open it. One of them, since there's two of them, had a little pen mark, and they say, can you take the one with the pen and hand it to me? That was to check, down your throat. Fine. Next one, the one without, obviously, the pen mark, and that was up here. And my goodness, it is not a cotton swab. It's not soft. It's like a silicone plastic thing, and he's literally shoving it up. I didn't get the teary eye, but it did hurt a bit. And so that one he gives me back to put in the testing tube that they have. You put it back, close it, and you give it to them. That's it. You walk out. I mean, it's in kind of an open area, so you leave the area. They tell you to sanitize your hands. And basically the taxi that brought me there waits for you there until you get tested. You go back in the taxi and you come straight back, and it's all for free. Like, the taxi service was free. Obviously the testing is free. So yeah, and they say that the next day the results will come in. So yeah, we will see. But I wanted to show you what's in this bag. So, this is great. first thing, they give you this disinfectant spray. It's like legit, it's like 500 milliliters, quite heavy. So they give you this. They give you extra masks. Sorry. Hand gel, basically hand sanitizing gel. Ooh. They even give you a thermometer. And basically more paperwork. Notice of isolation, quarantine, blah 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 blah. So you're basically telling the mayor that you have arrived and are quarantined at home. And the next thing they give you is the receipt of isolation quarantine notice. So you have to fill it out, you have to sign it, take a photo and send it back to the person that's in charge of you while you're quarantining. And obviously just more information about what to do, what they expect you to do. And then you have 2 colour bins, blue, orange. The orange one has this sign on it. And I guess the blue is just your normal rubbish bin bag. So what you do is they call you again. They keep calling you to tell you what it is and what to do. So this bin is for you to put everything that you use that you're going to throw out during your quarantine. Everything. And then I guess, you know, when you get your results and you are positive, they come immediately to take this, and they somehow, you know, discard it safely. Yeah. And then after your quarantine, if you're all free, you're all, you know, negative, that's when you put your rubbish from this bin to this bin, meaning you can throw it out in the general rubbish afterwards. So that's that. So yeah, that's basically the whole process of traveling and coming to Korea. I'm on my, you know what, I don't keep track of days anymore because it's just quite tough to think 14 days of being in this room. So I think I might be on my 4th day or 5th day, I don't know, but I mean so far it's fine. It doesn't feel so suffocating for me, just the fact that it's my home. I hope this video has been informative for those who are planning on coming. I was panicking a bit because it's just so much information that you just don't know where to start. So yeah, I will see you in the next one.